Hello, hello, eighth graders. Today is Friday, October 23rd. Yesterday we had a snow day, and today, Friday, I am not able to be at school. So I thought I should for sure make a video and include the direct instruction notes in this video. So if you're saying, I was absent, or I'd like to hear those direct instruction notes again, or you need to hear the direct instruction notes for the first time, that is where you will find this video. So when we look at Google Classroom, we're in our middle school geography Google Classroom. You look under classwork, and you'll see this week, October 19th through the 22nd. When you click into Daily Geography Lessons / playlist, you're going to find our playlist for this week. And you're going to notice that there are 3 different colored boxes. The green is the direct instruction, the pinkish is explore and learn, and the yellow is demonstrate your learning. Okay? I would really like to hope, I guess, that each of you as 8th graders, you've either had a workshop with Mr. Lawrence or a workshop with me, and then also you've had 2 hybrid learning days at home. So I'm hoping that you are getting close to finishing up with your learning evidence and just general learning from this week by today. If not, you do have all weekend to be working on little odds and ends that still need to be finished up, but just know that the expectation is that when you're at home, you are still making progress on your learning. Okay, so in this green section, this direct instruction with Scoozy, you're going to see the main item that this video is going to be centered around is the notes session. And it's honestly focused on a few United States physical geography elements, but also just general geography concepts. So I would like for you to spend a little bit of time navigating your iPad to your Google Classroom. Go to this week, no, not this week, rewind. Go to your Google Classroom, head to classwork, and you're going to see that you're going to navigate to your Q1 notes for social. Click into that document, open it all the way up in Google Docs so you can edit. The slides that I'm going to share with you are these blue slides. Actually, there's really only 1.75 slides that I'm going to have you actually document, like type quote unquote more or a lot from. So I'm going to get started here. Hopefully you can have kind of that dual screen shenanigans going on. One side of your screen can be this video with the notes. The other side of your screen can be your Q1 notes, so that way you can be watching and typing at the same time. If you need to spend time writing and I move to the next slide, just pause the video, rewind a little bit, and while it's paused, you can type the information that you're needing to type in, okay? So the first slide that I'm going to share with you today is your title page of this lecture. It says United States Physical and Human Characteristics. This is honestly the start of a series of lectures, and so when we talk about human characteristics, we're going to get more to that next week and the week after. But I do want you to type that title into your notes, United States Physical and Human Characteristics. I'd also like you to type in that subtitle, Direct Instruction from October 19th through the 22nd. Now, I've told your classmates, your 8th grade classmates this, and I want to make sure that I tell you guys that the reason why you're taking notes is first to help with your comprehension of the content, but second, the more I guess the better job that you do at taking your notes, the more prepared you're going to feel when you have a quote unquote test or assessment, because you're going to be able to use these notes with your assessment. And why not take time and effort and energy to make your notes as high quality as possible, so when you're taking your assessment, you feel confident moving into that assessment with great notes. So I'm going to give you a bit of time to write that title and subtitle. Then I'm going to move you, again, feel free to pause whenever you need to. I'm going to move you to our next slide, okay? This slide is showing you major bodies of water. This is a physical geography, just awareness of what's around our country that we live in. So I have 4 little sunflowers on the left-hand side here, and it says, the first sunflower says, okay, we need to know what's on the western coast, right here, of the United States. Major body of water is the Pacific Ocean. Okay, I get that some of you might think that's super obvious, but to some, it's not obvious. So that's why we're spending time just making sure that this is something that we introduce to all of our learners. The second little sunflower tells you the Atlantic Ocean is on the eastern coast of the United States. So if we have the Pacific Ocean on the western coast, over here would be the eastern coast. Okay, that's the Atlantic Ocean. The third little sunflower, it says the Gulf of Mexico is located between Mexico and Florida. So another major body of water would be found behind this key in this map, located between Mexico and Florida. The fourth little sunflower, I wanted you to have some realizations of like, oh my gosh, we are living so close to a major body of water in our country. The Great Lakes are located near the Midwest, bordering Canada and the US. So right here, you have 5 Great Lakes. We're right here in Minnesota. So our border is bordering Lake Superior of the Great Lakes. I would like you to take these 4 bullet points down in your quarter 1 notes. Okay, so I'm going to share this next slide with you about a compass rose. This is just general geography knowledge. To the right, you see a compass rose. It shows you north, east, south, west. Notice my cursor is going clockwise. The way I remember north, east, south, west is by saying, never eat shredded wheat. Or I've also heard, never eat soggy waffles. The second bullet point here, it says it's important to be able to navigate a map, and that means being able to understand directions, north, east, south, and west. This third sunflower, it tells you, okay, just so you have some awareness of western states, we're kind of in that Midwestern region, right? So anything to the left of us would be western. We have Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, all the way to thinking about Alaska and Hawaii. That fourth sunflower here, it says eastern states. So anything that's technically to the right or east would be considered Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, all the way to Delaware and Maryland. Technically, we have more states on that would be considered east of us than just the states on this list. Okay, so take some time, document what you need to document. Pause if you must. I'm going to take you to the next slide here, and really this slide is just showing you a plethora of maps showing you regions of the United States. I just think it's so interesting how map makers, depending on what they're trying to depict in their maps, will make their maps designed a specific way. So what I mean by that is this map on the left-hand side has 4 regions: West, Midwest, South, and Northeast. This map up here shows you a map with 5 regions in it. Okay, and then oddly, like crazy enough, the next map maker says, you know what? This map is going to show 7 regions. So in the lower right-hand corner. I just thought it was so interesting that there's really no right or wrong answer for how many regions are in the United States, because it definitely depends on what you're looking for within those regions. So some maps might say 4, some maps might say 5, some maps might say even more than that. So really for this slide, you don't have much to write down, but I would suggest maybe putting a photo in your notes of the regions of the United States, just so that when you come back to studying and taking your assessment, you feel confident like, oh, I know what she means by the regions. Okay. Moving to our last slide, you're going to see it has to do with latitude, and I really like this visual here because it shows us facts about lines of latitude. Okay, so if you look at this red line running through the middle of our Earth, that is the equator. It is a line of latitude. Okay, notice how the rest of these lines are running parallel to one another. Okay, they never intersect, and as they get more farther north or more farther south, they're going to get shorter because that's the way a sphere, the shape of our Earth, is shaped. Okay, so if you were to ask me, Scoozy, where's Northern Africa in comparison to the equator? I would say, well, learner, Northern Africa is about maybe 10, 20, 30 degrees north of the equator because I'm going up. Okay, so I want you to just spend time taking down the bullet points of these facts about lines of latitude that you feel need to be in your quarter 1 notes. And actually, that 6th slide and so on, we're going to cover that next week. So I feel like this is a good, digestible amount of information. Feel free to rewind. Yeah. Anything that, so I'll just do a little plug here. Once you finish your quarter 1 notes for this week, your direct instruction notes, remember that when you go to your playlist, you've basically accomplished your direct instruction. Don't forget to tackle your 3 out of the 5 choices for your explore and learn. And then don't forget to do your demonstrate your learning. Okay, so if you look at this next untitled presentation I made, I started to make my own project and I said, okay, my teacher is asking me to do 10 elements of United States human geography or American culture. And I randomly picked 10 that I would think were interesting. Am I going to change some of them? Maybe, but it at least gets me started. Okay, so my first slide focusing on American music. My second slide focusing on American fashion. And then my next slide I was working on cities. Am I done? Heck no. I'm about 25% done maybe because I have about 2.5 slides finished right now. Okay, so I want to see you making progress. Don't forget to upload your learning evidence, your Google Slides if you chose to create that or something else for your learning evidence, to this learning evidence for October 19th through the 22nd. I'm excited to see what you create. I hope you have a great weekend and that it is safe with the snow. Bye.